and Greek. Is your mouth a little weak when you open it to speak? Are you smart? But don't change a hair for me. Not if you care for me. Stay, little Valentine. Stay. Each day is Valentine's Day.
The Drive Time Show with Nigel G every Monday to Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. online at seclosounds.org. The best mix of music and fun to wind down your day. Listen out for A Slice of Cheese, The Rotten Tomato and Remember the Bees. Intrigued? Don't miss The Drive Time Show with Nigel G every Monday to Friday from 4 to 6 p.m. on seclosounds.org.
You're listening to Inspired by Jazz on Seclo Sounds. Now, we're based in the old rectory, the home of our studio partner, Interaction MK. They've been bringing arts to life in Milton Keynes for over 35 years. They use the arts to improve the life chances of disabled people and others in challenging circumstances through shared creative activity. Their programs help participants to develop creative, personal and social skills. Now, with me tonight in the studio, I have a fabulous poet called Ian McEwan. Now, Ian, you asked me to play My Funny Valentine, and I'm a bit ashamed that I didn't put your trumpet player on.
Yeah, chet-baker, who it's not actually on that track. It's not so much his trumpet playing, although that's brilliant, but it's also he sings, and he turns the whole song into the most, I don't know, extraordinary kind of levels of irony between the words, which are saying one thing, and the music, which is saying something much, much sadder and much worse.
Oh.
So I love Funny Valentine. The other thing that I think about Funny Valentine, I haven't checked this out musicologically, but if you know the David Bowie track, China Girl.
Yes.
Same harmony, same thing.
And tell me again what you said to me while we were listening to it about the track that I'd chosen.
It was far too upbeat. I thought it was a very, very pleasant version. You know, it's a heart-rending song. It's a terrible song. The whole world is crashing down in that song, really.
Well, I just don't agree. That's why I obviously changed the version. But now I'm a bit sad that I haven't put on the other one, because we could have talked about what you've just mentioned and reflected on that. Now then, we're going to have a listen to a double bass player now called Russ Sargeant. And you've got a poem about double bass, Ian. Do you want to tell me about that?
I have. I can tell. Well, it's a very simple. It's a sort of simple little ballad structure poem. It actually partly comes because my son played the double bass for a while. He's given up now. Sons do that. But it was just a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
No. Do you want me to read it?
Yes, please.
Okay, this is called Bass Man. The man with the horn blows in your face, but I'm more than happy plugging my bass. Top notes get your ears, but they're not the best place deep down where I'm loving, flogging the bass. Though the saxophone's sexy, coming last wins the race, at the root of the chord is the thrust of my bass. It's not about glamour, but it's to my taste, hitting hidden counterpoint, hugging my bass. The world is everything that is the case. That horn's decoration, au fond, is my bass.
That's great, Ian. Thank you.
A little bit of Wittgenstein at the end there for those who recognise it.
Well, when we're going to play Russ Sargeant now, and I'm sure that he would really love that poem, actually. He's an incredible musician, and I've decided to sort of put his track on after your poem because I knew specifically that you had a poem about a bass player, and I was listening to quite a few different jazz bass players. But then I remembered that I'd seen Russ Sargeant playing, not jazz actually, but I asked him if he had any jazz, and he does a lot of jazz, but it's quite different from the kind of tunes that we've been listening to. It's quite contemporary. He's actually based in Birmingham, but he plays a lot, and he really does some incredible things with his instrument. So let's hear it now. It's called Riders. did you make of that then, Ian?
Yeah, no, I liked it. I have to say my least favourite instrument is actually the jazz guitar.
Right.
I don't know why. It's an irrational prejudice, I think, but it's the one I find it hardest to get on with.
Yeah, I think he's an amazing bass player, and I think he makes the bass sound like a lead instrument, where usually it's tucked away in the background there, and I really admire that actually. One of my favourite bass players was a rock bass player actually called Phil Lynott, and he used to do the same thing. You keep going, Russ, because I think that's absolutely marvellous. I've got to tell people about some of the events that are coming up this week now. Tonight we've got Jazz Jam at the Kiln Farm Club, if you fancy going afterwards. Thursday, Jazz and Blues with Terry Marshall at the Fox and Hounds. Saturday, Sue Hill Trio with Andy Faulkner and Dick Clark are in a winter harmony concert at St Peter and St Paul's Church, Newport Pagnell. 7:30 start, proceeds go to the church. Sunday is the Rugby Jam at the Style Bar between 4 and 7 o'clock. And Monday, Jazz at the Cannon, 8:30. Okay, Ian, we've got another poem coming up from you. Now, you've chosen another track of Miles Davis from the Sketches of Spain album. Do you want to tell us a bit about why you've chosen that album particularly? And you can pronounce the track that I've chosen, and then you could read us the poem.
I hope it's the track I think you've chosen, but this, I suppose, is to do with the crossover with classical music, in the sense that in the good old bad old days when you had a record player and long playing records, and my parents had a record player, but not a huge number of records, one of which was the guitar concerto, the Concerto de Aranjuez, which I think means concerto with oranges, basically. I'm no Spanish speaker. Let me have a look.
It's a concerto that I've chosen for sure. It's right.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Concierto de Aranjuez. Anyway.
You can see why I got Ian to say
absolutely.
it, can't you?
It's a well-known classical piece. Anyway, they played the classical record to death, and I'd got to the stage where I really didn't like the classical version at all. I thought it was very hackneyed.
Yeah.
And then I heard Miles Davis produce his version, and it's totally fresh and different, and emotionally completely different. So,
okay. So let's hear your poem then.
So this poem brings into